First of all, I just wanted to welcome Councillor Johnny Amos. I hear you've been in at the deep end as well already.
Yeah, it's, yes, news travels. Bad news travels faster.
Absolutely. Anyway, thank you, welcome. Right, where are we then? Item 1 on the agenda to sign the minutes of the licensing committee held on the 29th of January. Everybody happy with those minutes? It's only a couple of pages. Okay? Happy? I'll sign them. Thank you very much. Item 2, apologies for absence. I've got one from Councillor Chris Long and Councillor Ray Howard. Any others? Or are we all here?
Chris Long, you've done.
Yeah,
That was it.
that was it. Yeah, okay, fine. Right. Is it appropriate, Ed, to mention this alteration that we agreed on? Because I only copied it to the people on the hearing panel.
I think when we discuss agenda item 5, I think it's quite appropriate to suggest amendments to the minutes.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, right. Item 3, members' interest. To receive declarations of members' interest and the nature of such interests in any of the following items. Disposable interests or party arrangements. Okay, fine. Item 4, the appointment of vice chairman. I have in fact emailed everyone prior to this meeting to say that Councillor Long had agreed to put himself forward, and that was proposed and seconded by Councillor Chandler.
Yes, I'm happy to.
Councillor Warren. Since then I've had no other nominations. So I'm asking if you're happy with that as Councillor Long as Vice Chairman. Can I have a show of hands, please?
Agreed.
Okay? Excellent. Even though he isn't here.
Anything else we could put on it?
Okay, item 5. These are the hearing panel minutes. Only one that we had a slight alteration to, and that is page 33 to 36. Taxi hearing for Mr. Hussain. Okay. This was a hearing which was chaired by myself, Councillor Howard and Councillor Warren, and it was pointed out to me, even before I had a chance to actually read it for myself, that there should be a slight alteration in that the decision says that the licence should be revoked as the applicant was not considered a fit and proper person. In consultation with Ed and Maria Taylor, it's been agreed. Could you please read it out for me, please, Ed?
Clarity was sought on what the fit and proper person element related to.
Yes.
Now I would suggest the wording to include after the sentence, to hold a hackney carriage driver licence.
Yeah, the implication being that he was not a fit and proper person, full stop, which could of course be misinterpreted. So that's the agreed change to those minutes. However, if you look at the notice of decision, it does actually say not a fit and proper person to hold a hackney to hold a licence to drive a hackney carriage. It is there.
Right, all I'd say is that I absolutely fully agree with changing the wording because it makes it more,
Very specific.
exact.
Yeah.
But the wording, if you take the whole thing in context, we were discussing the guys that Hackney carriage licence, so fit and proper person was for Hackney carriage licence. So
yes.
I think
I agree it wasn't wrong.
no,
But just as further clarity,
Yeah.
I think that'd be the best way forward.
Yeah.
I can advise the committee that this particular chap did appeal that decision, and that was set for yesterday in Northamptonshire Magistrates Court, and the bench dismissed the appeal. They would not hear it simply because he submitted his appeal well after the 21-day period.
Oh, right. Okay. So a technicality, but nonetheless a successful one.
Otherwise, a shot at a tennis ball, but
Do you need that proposed and seconded and all that?
What, the amendment?
Change, yeah.
Oh, can you clarify that for us? Anybody? Officer? Do you need it?
Formally you can, though, if the committee should be generally in agreement.
Yeah, if the committee's in agreement, just show of hands. Yeah, agreed?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Any other queries on any of these hearing minutes?
Was there any special reason that one of them appeared twice? Pages 37 to 41 and then 43 to 48.
Probably just an error of the printing machine.
The agenda shows are different.
7 to 42 is variation of skylarks. Yeah.
But at the top it says great convenience store for both of them.
Sorry, say again.
On the minutes of the hearing,
Yeah.
they're both down as Grange convenience stores and they're textually identical.
Oh, right.
Does that mean one's been missed out and one's been included twice?
Look.
Doesn't look like it, does it? These things happen.
These things
It looks like the minutes for Skylarks are missing, so we'll
Yeah.
make sure the committee does have sight
Thank
of
you.
those for sure.
From memory, was Skylarks that in a garden centre or something like that, isn't it? Am I right?
There's
Yeah, it's like a
there's
farm building.
That's
and
right.
like a shop.
Yes.
And also a restaurant stroke cafe.
Yeah.
It's applying for an extension of hours and also to
Yeah, I
include
remember
outside
that.
area for weddings.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was approved until midnight, bring doors, and
Yeah.
until 1 o'clock in the morning for outside.
Yeah, and I can recall a heated, not semi-heated conversation regarding what was classed as inside and outside, and it was concluded that a marquee was not inside.
Yeah.
Because an inside had to be a bricks and mortar building.
And that's why you lessened the hours for the
That's right.
marking.
Yeah.
So
Between
it
us we
didn't affect
get-
the neighbours.
Yeah.
Up to midnight, yeah.
Okay. I take it and there's been no sort of repercussions on that.
They had their first event literally last weekend.
Oh, okay.
I spoke to the licensee today because they're chasing their licence, and she said that she'd not heard of any problems, and I certainly haven't. So
Good. That's what we like to hear.
May I ask, does that now establish a precedent that if a licensed premises puts up a marquee and moves its music into that it doesn't count as being indoors?
That is the understanding I came to, based on legal advice.
Because we often have a condition that the music must be indoors because of disturbing neighbours and no one can
it
trust that.
doesn't specifically set a precedent. I
Right.
think the legal advisor on the day made it quite clear what was meant by inside music and
Thank you.
outside music.
Okay, so it was a
that
clarification.
definition
Yeah.
is obviously set in stone,
Yes.
but the actual precedent, I don't think it set a precedent
No, you're
for
right.
that type of application to be accepted or not, as the case may be, because it's on a case-by-case basis. But,
Indeed. Thank you, that's helpful.
Chairman, if I may say, and I think I may have mentioned it before, but
Yeah.
it's happened again, when frequenting Skylark
Yeah.
with my grandchildren, I happened upon the owner who voiced his extreme gratitude to the licensing department of the DDC and spoke very highly of them and thought they were very, very helpful.
Thank you, that's really good to hear. I do think our officers make an excellent team. And I also think that we as a committee are very open to listening to people. I especially like to give them as much notice as possible in terms of stating their case. I don't try to bully them unless it gets repetitive. And I think we're always learning. It's an ongoing feast, this particular thing. And we learn, every single time we learn a little bit more on how to conduct the business. But I think we do very well, considering as we started from nothing.
Can I offer updates on 2 of the cases that are listed
Yes.
on the agenda? The first one on page 9 relates to the Chasers review.
Oh, yes.
The outcome of that was that they appealed the decision to the Magistrates' Court, and we as a council decided to enter into negotiation, and I can confirm that that was disposed of by way of hearing the appeal yesterday at Northampton Magistrates' Court. I've got a copy of the order of complaint if members wish to see it, for sure.
Yeah, I remember that this one, it did cause a bit of it. It was all to do with the outside area, wasn't it?
That's
the
right.
police alleging that they were customers of Chasers were going walking through the town centre with alcohol.
There were complications with that, and they have been resolved in court yesterday. So
good.
So that is.
I believe it did actually cost the council some money, but at the end of the day, these things have to be, just managed and dealt with as they come along.
Because it was a mutual negotiation, it did cost the council our own costs.
Yeah.
But then the appellant, they bore their own costs.
Right.
So it was a mutual agreement.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'll give the update on Mr. Hussain. That was the one that we just talked about. He was after his appeal period. The other one is Mr. Habis Ahmed on page 13.
Yeah.
This chap appealed to magistrates, and the appeal was dismissed. That was in our favour. He has since appealed to the Crown Court, and we heard yesterday that even though this chap was over the 21-day period for submitting his appeal, the Crown Court is set to hear that appeal in November.
Okay. All right. Well, watch this space on that one. You've been telling me next he's going to Brussels.
You've been there, eh?
And that was it really, isn't it, Ted?
Thank you.
Yeah, so, right. Now we come to item 6, which is the wonderful gambling policy, which I'm sure Ed is going to wax very lyrical about this. But it does look fairly straightforward, to be honest.
Indeed, but this is the substantive element of this evening, of course. This is, members will be aware that every 3 years the Gambling Act 2005 requires us to review and publish its statement of licensing principles, and we're at that period particularly soon. We've actually, the licensing team have worked with the Northamptonshire Licensing Liaison Group to develop a proposed draft which essentially reflects the Gambling Commission's guidance to licensing authorities and the local government association's guidance on what should be included in the document.
Yeah.
I can advise members that the policy actually varies very little to what we have in place, and the changes, proposed changes, are shown in Appendix 2, and they're essentially to a large extent removing reference to the existing Gambling Commission guidance by paragraph, because that is itself going through a state of change at the moment. Not fundamental, but it will change to some degree. I don't feel that the changes will have any impact on the licensing of premises within our district, and I feel that the changes will just simply add greater clarity to the policy, for sure.
Yeah.
What I'm actually seeking by way of resolution from the licensing committee is to enter into a consultation of the draft for a period no more than 6 weeks, starting week beginning 21st of September 2015. So if that's agreed this evening, we'll start that process. It's got to be in place by the 31st of January 2016, which leaves us a very short time span to get it in place legally. So I'm proposing that after that, the licensing team reviews any objections, makes any amendments, and makes the licensing committee know of any suggested amendments by email.
Yeah.
So that I can provide comment to the strategy group, and they can resolve the actual policy.
Well, I shall attend strategy then on that occasion.
Okay, thank you. In addition to the actual policy, and that's the process outlined, we as a council need to resolve a no casino resolution.
Yes, I was about to touch on that.
Absolutely. So this is something that's just simply part of what we legally need to do. We have been through this process before, I think 3 times now, and each of those times the council has wished to adopt a no casino resolution. This is merely a statement of intent. If a casino application was submitted, it's entirely within the gift of the council to pass a counter resolution which would allow it. But ever since the Gambling Act, ever since the policy has been in place, we've not had any applications within the district.
Okay, that's fine. Are we in agreement with that resolution staying in place?
Can I make a comment, please?
Yes, Councillor.
Thank you. I would advise that the obvious typographical changes need to be made before it goes to strategy group. It says insert LA where you need to put Daventry District Council on every page.
Oh, does it? Oh, yes.
The reason,
As local authority, isn't it?
yeah. Absolutely. I'll do that before it goes to consultation. The reason it's in that format is because this is a document that's been shared with and developed through the county, whereas before, excuse me, we had each individual logo on the front. I decided, because I led the subgroup to review this, decided to take all the logos off, because I remember when we went through the statements of principles for the Licensing Act fairly recently, the police were quite keen to make sure it's individual to a particular local authority. Quite rightly, so we can adopt it just for Daventry, but with the knowledge that it's similar to what's in place over the county.
I was going to question that, this remove the logos, but you've explained it very well, so that's okay.
Will the no casino need to be part of the recommendations going to strategy?
I think so.
As a separate item? Or will it be within the policy?
I think we can get a resolution on that tonight.
Yeah.
In accordance with the Constitution. I think we can resolve tonight to enter into consultation, and I think it's within the gift of the licensing committee to resolve a no casino resolution, which will be included in the policy itself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is it appropriate to propose it now?
Yeah, shall we propose it? Okay, I need a proposal for that. Those two, yes? Councillor Warwick?
Yeah.
And a seconder?
Yeah.
Councillor Cook? Yeah, all agreed. Great. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
That was quick. Urgent business? There is not. No. And that's it.
I've just got something on
Of course.
business. It concerns the renewal of taxi licences now, because it's now 3 years. Northampton are doing everything online. Is this something that we're doing online? They're doing the whole, renewal online. I think to free up, obviously time, I think, for...
I'm not. I have seen the proposals from Northampton Borough on what their new pricing regime includes, and it's what you're suggesting is not reflected in their pricing regime as far as I can tell. We will always try to make things as simple as possible for our customers, but there are certain elements where we do need to see people face to face.
No, there is no discount or anything. You know, it's still basically exactly the same costing for doing it online.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, the £50 charge, whatever it is, for 3 years it's 150 quid.
Well,
But it comes up for the...
And that's just for renewals, is it?
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to look into it in more detail.
Yeah, but it's just a thought, you know, I renewed mine in July in Northampton, and it was all done online, apart from, because my medical and CRB was up this year, the CRB had to be done about 3 months prior to the application going out, because that's done individually. So I got the notice back to me, and then I had to take it in to them for them to see.
Yeah.
Again with my medical yes, thank you.
Go on then.
did you say medical or mental?
Probably both.
Yeah,
But that was the only time I actually had to go in.
Okay.
It was to take those documents in for them to see. Otherwise, everything was done online.
Online, thank you. I'll look into that.
Ask a question. If you're doing it online, does that mean you've got to download, fill a form in and then upload it back onto their system? Is that how it works? Or is it just a case of printing things out and still posting them back? When you say online, in what respect?
This time I had to print out the form and take it down to them. But I think they're sort of refining it slightly.
So that it can all be uploaded onto their system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was just really just a question as to whether we were looking at, sort of doing...
Absolutely. I mean, we're going through because of the Deregulation Act 2015, we're having to go through a process of resetting the fees for the taxi, for the acne carriage and private hire drivers, and also for the private hire operators. And that's a process we're actively engaging with at the moment, because that needs to be in place by the 1st of October.
It looks to me that Northampton haven't actually changed anything as far as their pricing. It's exactly the same. They're just times it by 3.
You can't. To go from 1 year to 3 years and multiply it by 3 is potentially unlawful. They're not doing, as far I have seen their spreadsheet, and I suspect I've seen their consultation document, and they're advocating that a 1 year and a 3 year licence will be the same, but that doesn't mean that they're actually multiplying the 1 year licence by 3. I think it was already quite a lot of money anyway.
That's right, yeah.
Is there a question of identity if you're doing it online?
It's certainly something that's crossed my mind. The actual process is quite a lot based on face-to-face for obvious reasons, but it's certainly something I'll look into.
I just renewed my Opileg sticker, my blue badge. What a performance. I received a letter from county to say that I can go into the library and renew it. So in good faith I went into the library in Daventry and then went wading through their manuals and saying, well, this is the first one, I don't know how we have to do this, we need to get someone to help you with the computer. So I said, well, that won't be necessary. Oh, you mean you can use a computer? Occasionally I have to use one. And then I tried to do it online, and there's 3 attempts. I'm not averse to whacking a few notes or a few keys on the keyboard. But it was very difficult even then to do it online, and then they came back wanting a copy of my driving licence. I've got the plastic driving licence, so scanned it, sent it to them, which they wouldn't accept, and then they wanted a copy of the paper copy that we get when we get a plastic licence. Okay, that's fine. So that was finally resolved, and I'll just pass it. by you. I was looking at a car today and they said, well, all we need is a copy of your driving licence. So I took in the paper one and they said, no, we don't need that, we need the plastic one. And their head office blow it up 150 times so they can read it.
I'd be more than happy to discuss improvements on the system outside of the meeting.
Yeah. It's not easy. They reckon it's progress, but it's not always progress. Anybody, any other comments before I close this meeting? Councillor Amos, are you okay?
I'm absolutely fine. I'm so
No burning questions.
glad you came.
Of course, once we close the meeting, I'd like to offer some kind of training, if I may.
Yes, of course you may.
Can I, before...
They're going to offer us all a telling off of it.
I do have a question
Yes?
concerning the dealing in scrap metal.
Oh, yes.
Two of our local churches have lost their roof recently, and I've been asked a number of times, how come that they've stolen our lead because they're not allowed to sell it anymore?
It goes into a container.
And I said, well, if it goes overseas, and it's not very far to the Republic of Ireland, they can get rid of it that way.
Well, the last time that we had our county licensing seminar, which you and I attended, as I recall, the subject of scrap metal, the Scrap Metal Dealers Act was touched upon, at which point I, in my usual fashion, basically said that it wasn't worth the paper it was printed on the grounds that if you are hell-bent on stealing lead or any other form of metal, you are certainly not going to try and offload it on your own doorstep. Secondly, it was admitted by the police presence there that once something goes out of the county, or the border so to speak, there's no cross-referencing at all. So basically, what is the point of this act? Because it's not really doing anything. It's certainly not going to stop the theft, because as Councillor Poole has just said, it's gone into a container and it's down at the docks before you know it.
That's right.
There's no easy answer to that, Councillor Chandler, I'm afraid. But my thoughts were very much put on the table at that liaison meeting, and I can't see there is any improvement now.
Madam Chairman, I think Councillor Amos, myself, Councillor Long, and definitely Andrea and I'm almost certain Ed, enjoyed the last hearing because of the various elements, and I wondered if it was worth, if Ed was going to go on to a little bit of training mentioning some of the elements that occurred within that hearing, because it was extremely interesting. I think John would agree with you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, extremely.
Well, what training were you thinking of giving us, Ed?
Well, it's about decision making in hearings.
Well, there you go. On that note, unless there's any other items pertaining to this particular meeting, I'll close it and then